Hello, welcome to Gar Weekly. You are an idiot. You're all idiots. Actually, thanks to video games, we're all a lot smarter than we could have been in the past. Video games can help young adults, teenagers, and even in some cases adults become smarter and improve their mental health. According to Webster's Dictionary, video games are only electronic games which involve interaction with a user interface to generate visual feedback on a video device. This basically means that all you're doing when you're playing a video game is changing the pixels on a screen to light up in a different way by pressing a button or moving joysticks. You're not changing the world or anything in the real world with it in any way whatsoever. The only thing affecting the real world is the player. Most adults view video games as a sort of pointless, time-wasting, violent entertainment. Contrary to our culture's popular beliefs, video games can improve people's mental health, chemically, emotionally, and through rewards. In life, when you fail to accomplish a goal, your dopamine levels are lowered. According to Steven Johnson, the author of Everything Bad is Good for You, dopamine is the human brain's natural painkiller. It's a sort of accountant. It keeps track of expected rewards and sends out an alert in the form of lower dopamine levels when rewards don't arrive as promised. Now here's a graphic of the pathways that dopamine goes throughout the brain, and it includes the functions of dopamine, which are motivation for rewards, increase in motor function, and improved perseveration. Consider the way that dopamine works as, for instance, when a late night snacker goes to the freezer looking for some Ben & Jerry's, and when he opens up the fridge and looks in there and there's none, then that lower dopamine level can make him feel disappointment and have a lot more craving, which means that his dopamine levels have been lowered. When you achieve a goal, your dopamine levels rise up, and you feel better and accomplished. For instance, in video games, when you beat a hard level that's been taking you forever to get, or you achieve a piece of armor that you really liked, then that will also increase your dopamine levels. So, when you complete a goal, your dopamine levels rise, making you feel constantly accomplished while playing video games. Now we go to looking at it chemically. When you don't feel accomplished, you usually attempt new avenues of lifestyle choices, which can cause confusion in your life if you're a lot younger. Video games are a sort of resource to help you not have to change your lifestyle when you aren't ready to change it. Some things that happen when you can't make any hard lifestyle changes are changing to drugs or even suicide. Suicide is usually caused by extreme depression, which stems from the feeling of being completely unaccomplished or worthless. Now the next graphic I have is one of your different levels of dopamine that you get from each of these things. So here's your baseline, which is just 100. When you eat food, it goes up to 150. When you have sex, it goes up to 200. Cocaine is 350, and meth is all the way up at 1250. Drugs are an artificial way for people to manually raise their dopamine levels. When your body gets used to the drugs, unfortunately, it stops releasing the natural dopamine, which makes the person most likely completely rely on the drugs. So this means that you're completely addicted to them usually. Games, on the other hand, allow people to raise their dopamine levels in a natural way without having to resort to drugs. According to Kendra Cherry, in her article, What is Catharsis? Catharsis is a form of emotional release, which is linked to a need to release unconscious conflicts. Most teens have suppressed rage and/or sadness due to parents, bullying, relationships, school, and other stressors. And you should usually vent these feelings into the virtual world of video games rather than inappropriately in the real world. The feelings of fear, greed, power hunger, and rage are all aspects of ourselves that we try not to experience in our real lives. But we end up wanting or even needing to experience them through the stories of others. This is where video games come in. They are the perfect way of experiencing things through others. They allow a person to become someone else and explore these inescapable feelings that they were previously taught to deny. And according to Gerard Jones in his journal, Violent Media is Good for Kids, you can learn to use these emotions to create a more resilient, whole, and complex selfhood. This is the same way that children portray superheroes when they're younger. They like to conquer their feelings of powerlessness that comes with being so young and small. Video games help teens cope with various emotional problems. To sum it all up, video games can help improve mental health, chemically, emotionally, and through rewards. It assists chemically by making the person feel accomplished and having solid ground to help them stay on their feet in life. It helps emotionally by providing an outlet for the person to express their feelings in a virtual world where they can't do it inappropriately. Video games are the only thing on Earth that can increase your mental health in all of these ways by only moving joysticks and pressing buttons. So tell me, did you play video games or do you still think they're a pointless waste of time?